Good morning, everyone. Happy Valentine's Day, and thanks for joining us for the second half of GMK Saturday. I know that I want to know more about the weather, though, and I know that Tanner has a little look at the forecast for today, so let's get on over to Tanner.
Well, good morning, Lily, and good morning to the rest of you. Not a bad start to our Valentine's Day, unfortunately. Mother Nature is not in a romantic mood this morning as she's going to be a bit of a heartbreaker as we head through the day as a return of winter returns to KAKE land. But like I said, not a bad start to the day, setting at a temperature of 41 degrees with quite a bit of sunshine out there, and the winds are fairly light, so not too bad. Light jacket weather, 39 right now in Hutch. It's 41 right now in Salina, 36 in Hayes, 35 for you folks out in Garden City. Here is the bad news. We're going to slowly warm up as we head through the morning up to around 45 degrees by 10 a.m. with a light west wind at about 5 to 15 miles per hour. By the noon hour, a strong cold front makes its way through Wichita, bringing gusty northeast winds 15 to 30 miles per hour. I think we're going to top out right around 48 by the noon hour with temperatures falling as we head through the afternoon. We're going to fall back down to 40 degrees by 3 p.m. When you wake up tomorrow morning, temperatures in the teens. A very chilly Sunday on the way. A complete look at the forecast is coming up.
Thank you, Tanner. Well, parts of the Northeast are not feeling the love from Mother Nature this Valentine's Day weekend. Temperatures are dangerously low in Boston as they prepare for another blizzard. This will be the fourth major weekend snowstorm in a row to hit the Boston area. And it's not just Boston. 100 million people living in 27 states can expect stormy weather or brutal cold. New this morning from News Around the World, a Valentine's Day shooting plot is foiled by Canadian police. Two young people, one a 23-year-old woman from Illinois and a 19-year-old male, allegedly planned to open fire at a mall to kill as many people as they could before committing suicide in Halifax, Canada. The suspects were on a chat stream and were apparently obsessed with death and had many photos of mass killings. The woman confessed to the plot and was arrested at Halifax Airport. The male shot himself to death after police were tipped off and surrounded his home. A local school principal may lose his job because of state budget cuts. The Mound Ridge School District could eliminate the middle school principal's job for next year. State funding for Mound Ridge has dropped over the years, and even with a community-supported LOB increase, the superintendent says more cuts are necessary.
When we get to having to cut big numbers, we have to talk about people, and you know, when we're also talking about trying to create a classroom environment that's ideal, we're not in a position where we can cut teaching staff, and we've cut just about everywhere we can.
The district is still considering all options. They expect to make decisions next month. The Valley Center School District also responding to Governor Sam Brownback's education funding cuts with a hiring freeze. USD 262 saying it's facing a revenue drop for the rest of the current fiscal year and is taking immediate action with the hiring freeze until further notice and by reducing building and classroom budget allocations by 4%. A new program at the Kansas Cosmosphere has high school juniors reacting to a nuclear crisis. It's based on the Cuban Missile Crisis in 1962 when Soviet missiles were in Cuba and pointed at the U.S. Now, these Wichita North students assume roles as members of the President's National Security Council. They're briefed on what the threat level is. Then they have to decide such things as evacuating cities and how to advise the president. The program helps prepare students for real workplace thinking.
So what we're asking students to do today is be employees. So they will decide where they need to go and when, what data they're going to use, what their outcomes are, and make their own critical decisions.
The Cosmosphere's education director says an exercise like this helps students prepare for jobs where critical thinking and decision making are necessary. A clinic that provides free dental care drew more than 800 people yesterday, and that clinic continues today. The free event is put on by the Kansas Mission of Mercy. If you're thinking of going, get there early because it's first come, first serve. In fact, several people showed up on Wednesday to be seen by a dentist on Friday. There are no eligibility, income, or residency requirements. Organizers say the 275 dental professionals will be able to care for about 900 patients each day. They'll do cleanings, fillings, and even pull teeth.
It's very good for people that don't have the insurance or can't afford it.
How many patients are you going to see today?
I have no idea. Until they quit bringing them.
Now, doors opened at 7 o'clock this morning. Westar Energy is in hot water with one Wichita man after tree trimming troubles. KAKE's Chris Stanford took the complaints to Westar to get some answers.
Ronnie Ryard came home this week to find that a good section of one of his big trees was gone. He knew Westar Energy needed to trim back the branches from the power lines and says he was told it would only be 3 or 4 feet.
They cut a whole lot more than that. In fact, they've cut branches back to the tree, which is maybe 10 feet away from the lines.
Ryard called up the energy company to complain and also called us.
I'm tired of this kind of stuff happening. It happens all over the state of Kansas.
When we showed up to Ryard's house, Westar was there, but the employee wouldn't talk to us on camera and left. Westar says its reliability program does work, and that since it began in 2010, power outages are down 75%, and that tree-related outages are down 80%. But Ryard says that still doesn't make what they did to his trees okay.
I just don't want them to be able to keep coming to everybody's house in the state of Kansas, and Wichita in particular, and just destroying trees with no accountability on their part.
A Westar spokeswoman admits the trees were cut back more than they talked about and that they'll try to work with the homeowner to make it right. A hacker attack and millions of people planning to travel next week. Here's a look at what's trending today. After Anthem's hacker attack, they're offering 2 years of free credit monitoring and identity theft repairs to customers affected by the data breach. Anthem is still investigating how hackers broke into a database storing information for about 80 million people. And there's already a travel rush ahead of next week's start to the Lunar or Chinese New Year. China's Transportation Ministry projected 295 million people traveling by rail and 47 million by plane. This year's Spring Festival, ushering in the Year of the Goat, runs from the 18th to the 25th.